In this video, we'll be evaluating expressions, and I'll be using one variable today. What is evaluate? To evaluate an algebraic expression, what you have to do is substitute the number for each variable and use the order of operations to simplify. So for instance, I have the expression 4x minus 7, and I'm going to use the same expression to evaluate for two different values. First, I'll evaluate for x equals 5, and then for the value of x, I'll use negative 3. So here's my expression, 4x minus 7. That means that 4 needs to be multiplied by the value of x and then minus 7. So using the value of x, I'm going to substitute with 5 first and rewrite the problem. 4 times 5 minus 7. So I'm using the value of x 5, and then I have to use the order of operations to simplify. Multiplying and then subtracting. So order of operations says multiply first. 4 times 5 will be 20, and then minus 7. 20 minus 7 will be 13. So here's my simplified expression for x substituted with 5. Then I'm going to use the same expression for x minus 7, but the value of x will be negative 3. So 4x means 4 times the value of x. 4 times the value of x this time, I want to be negative 3 minus 7. So to evaluate, first we replace or substitute the expression in the expression, the value, and then use the order of operations to solve. So multiplying positive times negative will be negative 12, and then minus 7. Same sign, add the numbers, keep the sign, negative and negative. 12 and 7 will be negative, add the numbers, 19, negative 19. Let's see another example. I have the expression negative x plus 5. Here it is really important to notice that we don't have a coefficient or a number in front of x. This is multiplicative identity, or I call it hidden coefficient, negative 1 multiplied by the value of x plus 5. So in this expression, again, there is a number that is negative 1. The variable doesn't have a sign. The sign always belongs to a number. So the value of x here is multiplied by negative 1 and then plus 5. Same here. If you see a negative x, again, this is value of x multiplied by negative 1, hidden coefficient, negative 1, and then plus 5. So to evaluate, I'm going to use negative 1, then the value of x2, and then plus 5. So negative 1 times 2, here's a multiplication, negative 2, plus 5. Now we combine negative and positive, different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number. So that would be 3. So negative 1 times the value of x plus 5. Negative 1 times the x value, negative 1, and then plus 5. Multiplying, negative times negative is positive. 1 plus 5 equals 6. Okay. Let's see another example. My expression is 8 minus 4 multiplied times t. First, I'm going to substitute the value for t3, and then I'll simplify it one more time for t equals negative 7. So first thing first, making sure that we understand what this problem means. I have 8 minus 4 multiplied by the value of t3. So my t has to be multiplied 3 multiplied by 4, and I'll include that sign in my multiplication. And then 8 is positive, so that will be added. So based on the order of operations, again, you have to multiply first. So I'm going to leave that 8 alone, and I'm going to multiply. And when I multiply, I'll multiply negative 4 times 3. So I include the sign in my multiplication. Negative times positive will be minus 12. And then we're going to combine. So combining negative and positive means subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So that will be negative, because 12 has a minus in front, and then subtract. 12 minus 8 is 4. Negative 4. So listen again. 8 minus 4t means 8 is the positive 8 that is going to be added, minus 4 multiplied by the value of t, negative 7. So I include the t in parentheses, and I show this time 4t again means multiplication. So you multiply by the value of t, negative 7. Based on the order of operations, we have to multiply first. So when you multiply, leave that 8 positive alone, and when you multiply the two numbers, if I covered 8, I see negative 4 and negative 7 being multiplied. So multiply the signs right away. Negative times negative is positive 28. 8 plus 28, both positives add 36. So careful on order of operations. And when you multiply, again, make sure you multiply the signs right away and have just one sign for the answer. Let's see the next one. Evaluating for y equals negative 2 one time and then 4. So here's what I was telling you about the variable with the sign in front but no number. That is always a hidden coefficient 1. So when I look at this part of the problem, negative 1y, that is value of 1, negative 1 multiplied by the value of y. Okay, so y times negative 1. Y, the variable, doesn't have a sign. The sign belongs to a number, so negative 1y. And then the negative 3 will be combined. So based on the order of operations, we're going to have to do this multiplication, then combine with negative 3. So same right here. It's hiding a multiplication by negative 1 and a variable. So we have this negative 1y means negative 1 times the value of the variable, then combine the negative 3. So let's see how that looks like. Negative 3 we leave for now. Then minus and negative means the same thing, negative 1. Substitute the y value with negative 2. And then multiply. Multiply first. So remember, multiplication is first based on the order of operations. Negative 3 is a number. Negative 1 times negative 2 is a multiplication. So negative 3 comes down for now. Multiplication, negative times negative is positive 2. And then we combine negative 3 plus 2, different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number, negative 1. Let's see it again. So again, negative 3 comes down. That is a number that will be combined later. Here is my multiplication, negative 1 times the value of y4. Multiply first, because multiplication has to be done first. So bring down that negative 3 and multiply negative 1 times 4, which is negative 4. So one sign only, negative 3 and negative 4. Add the numbers, keep the sign. Add the numbers, keep the sign, will be negative 7.